everyone. We are talking about The Walking Dead Season 6, Episode 2, JSS. Just survive somehow. So they always get you when you least expect it. So we got a really fun, action-packed episode when I least expected it. Alexandria is under attack. The wolves are here. Many conspiracy fan theories are confirmed by I think you and you. This is John Iadarola, by the way. This is Tim Frisch, and I'm Kim Horcher. So let's talk about JSS.
First off, right off the bat, what's that girl's name?
Enid.
Enid?
She was the spy, as was
so she was cut off saying that's how we were able to get in, right? That's what, although...
But I think it was
they don't
very
really explain, like,
projected.
she doesn't have the... I get, and look, I predicted it.
In the beginning, like, between eating live turtles, that's not what JSS was for. It was, when she was walking in, she looked reluctant. It wasn't because she was scared of people. It's because she knew the burden of what she had to do, which was
that's true.
Destroy these people like she had Noah's people.
But I thought that the turtle thing was just to make her look as savage as the zombies do. But so why doesn't she have the W then?
Because she's
And why
the
doesn't she
spy,
sound crazy
John.
like the rest of them?
She's a spy.
I wouldn't trust her if she didn't carve the W.
Yeah, that's like ruining the undercover.
I guess
spy.
I missed, how did she contribute on that day? Did she open the gate?
She didn't do anything.
She didn't,
just
so then
laid
why
low.
was she there?
I guess she
just
had
recon?
provided information. Yeah, why come back in if everybody's being wiped out there? Why
Maybe
go?
Because she met a boy who she liked, and
she
she
didn't
wanted
like
to say bye. As she did say, I want to say bye, right?
Do we think she took the
I guess that's
baby?
true.
No.
I think she took the baby.
Oh.
I mean, they didn't show the baby mom.
Tiny
Find out
little
in the next
zombie
episode.
torso.
But Carl didn't seem upset after it was all over.
Yeah, he was busy
would've-
with that casserole.
He would have been flipping out if Judith was
Which
gone.
I thought was actually a pretty good storytelling. The fact that they set the egg timer, and then like right as everything was dying down, like the egg timer goes off and he pulls out the casserole. It was really good.
Oh, I
like,
didn't even notice him said it, actually.
no,
Casserole
Carol
missed
said it.
that shit.
Showing that all that happened in real time. It was like 45 minutes to an hour. And that it did really well. I think one of the big points of this episode was to contrast the normalcy of life in Alexandria and like everything that's savage outside the walls still. And like showing those two in juxtaposition, and when they finally collide. Rick's been telling us for a whole season that Alexandria is not ready. They all should be dead.
he's
This
right.
shouldn't exist.
He's
These
goddamn
people were
right.
all lot, And like, of course he's right, but like now we see it.
Yeah.
Now they show us how right Rick was about all of that. And surprise, surprise, everybody dies.
Yeah.
I did like putting Carol and Morgan on opposite ends of, there's always some kind of question being asked in Walking Dead episodes. I think this one was our human self-interested killing machines that will only revert to helping themselves. There's also that question he asked, which was, I think he said, you don't have to kill people. And she said, of course we do.
Yeah, I like the questions, but I like them more when the answer isn't so obvious. Morgan's wrong. Guy,
listen,
you had to kill him.
He was somewhat successful at negotiating and talking that circle of people down. Somewhat.
No, yes, if what
I'm
you
not
wanted
gonna
was
call
for them
that
to get away to kill you later
massive
on.
success.
With a gun, they have a gun.
Those people
Yeah,
are
they do have one
definitely
gun.
going to kill
They
them.
probably will come back later. It's probably not a Chekhov
He should have
gun.
definitely killed them.
To me, the whole Morgan-Carol dichotomy is setting up a Morgan-Rick dichotomy later. Because now...
Because Rick agrees with her.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and Rick has been right, and Morgan has, in his own way, been right and survived and is, a badass now. But I think that's going to come to a head later when their ideologies clash in a real way, not just on paper.
Yeah. Yeah, I was surprised, actually, that they didn't get back during all of that. Rick and Michonne and all of them.
Well, that was during the part in the quarry. Remember when they heard the sound, the horn?
Yeah, I know, but then the fight kept on going for a while after that, and we had Morgan, I guess, wandering
They were
over there.
underwater, too. They were having their own troubles.
Oh, yeah, well, and that's probably what's going to be in the next episode. We can't forget that there are 10,000 zombies within 100 feet, basically, of the town. I liked this episode. I mentioned to you before we started reviewing it that it stands out from almost all the episodes that have come before it. And it was a bit difficult to watch for this same reason, is that we get a lot of violence constantly in The Walking Dead, but we don't get a lot of human-on-human violence, and certainly not random, indiscriminate violence. Like, the first time you see a wolf, they run up to somebody on the street and gut them.
Yep.
And then there's the kid who gets just a sharpened stick put through his chest. And there's a level of violence of human-on-human that we've had very brief scenes of up until this point. And so to see it played out, like, writ large across this whole community, I mean, I don't know how many people, it's always hard to say how many people were in Alexandria, but they must have lost half or more of their people. Like, that was an absolutely devastating attack. And so I don't know how they're
It
intended
was
to bounce
interesting
back.
to see who rose to the occasion. Like we saw the training to be a surgeon woman kind of getting there, but suffering a breakdown.
Yeah.
Hey, you
Carol's
guys, it's my first day.
house mother friends.
Yeah.
My first day
not
as a doctor.
faring
I hope
so
nothing
well.
bad happens.
I'm not even supposed to be here today.
We saw Jesse friggin' stab a woman to death with
Yeah,
hair
that was
cutting
good.
scissors. What's interesting
Yeah,
is
over
Jesse
the
and
chest.
Carol are both domestic abuse survivors, and they are
Yes.
becoming the most ready to enlist their I guess violent tendencies. If we go by the theory that all humans have that inside of them.
And
Yeah.
and you saw that moment where she like plays dead so that the beating stops and she can get the upper hand.
Yep.
That's domestic abuse 101.
Yeah, and like the kid was running with the guy chasing him. Carl saves him. Carl, obviously one of the most prepared people or whatever. And then the kid's like, "No, I'm not staying with you."
'Cause
Dude,
he's a dumb
he just saved your
teenager.
life 3 seconds earlier. You were gonna die right
No,
there. I'm just
no.
gonna run off into the middle of town.
Eden's my girl. Ugh, so stupid.
So stupid. He deserved to die right there. We saw the leader of the group, the ostensible leader of the group, freezing up, admitting that she can't do anything. Like she has no ability to help out. Even her son, missing with the rifle and everything, also not prepared, even though he has had training. What I did like is that the initial scout who found them and brought them in, who I thought was the guy who got his cheek bitten off last week, he was actually very effective. Like he was killing people, although it does turn out that their strategy of scouting apparently led the wolves right to them with the photos that they saw. And so I wonder, will he reveal that information? Will he hide it to protect, the idea and his reputation? I think that's going to be interesting to see.
But
Yeah.
did those photos lead them there? Because if Enid was a spy, they didn't need those photos, right?
That's true.
I think
But they
Enid
didn't
would
have
made it
them.
clear where their weaknesses are, choke points. Where's the armory? What are these people up to? What's their schedule like? That's also very helpful.
If they went to all the trouble of sending her to live for weeks or months, possibly, then the weak point was they ran up and scaled the wall. And then they didn't. They just started chopping into people. Why not go at night, sneak into the armory, and all of you have guns? I get that they're crazy people, but then if they're not going to plan, then
Aren't they
why
crazy
bring the girl?
people?
They were spouting off gibberish.
They seemed so smart and clever in the previous seasons when we hadn't seen them. Like they
Yeah.
have all these elaborate traps. They're luring people. They have goals. They,
Yeah, I mean, badgers
and then they
can
just
build
run
dams.
in with
Badgers, beavers.
knives and
Badgers
sticks.
probably-
cannot
Badgers
can't build
lazy.
dams.
Yeah.
I
Beavers
think
can.
that's what we need to take away
That
from
is
this.
But they're not
Slogan.
philosophers. And we saw that they were continuing that same strategy. They were chopping off the arms and the legs and being careful not to actually
Very
kill the person.
cavalierly so. They just
Enjoying
they
it.
They get to it, and then like you just broke into a community that you have to assume has guns. You don't have time to play right now.
Yeah, exactly. And
All in all, aside from like us first seeing that first swipe, which was like one of the coolest moments in Walking Dead, I'm pretty disappointed in the Wolves.
what
built
I'm
them up to more
disappointed
than they
in,
are.
whatever it is that they're doing with the torsos, whatever their philosophy is, it's not going to be a payoff. They've given us this idea that it has to be something big at this point. They're the big villain. They were previewed 17 years ago,
I don't
and now
think
they're finally
the big
here.
villain.
I'm not saying the big
They're
villain
like-
of the world, but I'm saying they have been previewed for a very long time.
Not
And they
even
found
a
that ruined
season.
town. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so I just don't think it's going to live up to the expectations that we have for it.
I think another question that was kind of asked, which is something that people seem to be weighing in, or characters seem to be weighing in, Morgan, Carol, Father Gabriel, is do the worst of us, abusers, killers, whatever, do they deserve mercy or kill them all? I think we're weighing there too in this season of The Walking
Carl
Dead
wants
so
to
far.
train the priest. He apparently thinks he deserves
I
some
would
mercy.
have told that priest to F off right away.
And Morgan saved him.
But I'm not Carl. I'm not Morgan.
I think we as an audience have been given that question to think about over and over and over again, but we know where Rick stands, and the writers keep making Rick right about everything.
Maybe
Yeah.
one day he won't be.
I know, but
Maybe.
he's had 5 seasons and 2 episodes to be wrong about something, and it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been super critical about a lot of the parts of this episode that I don't think make a ton of sense necessarily, but this was one of my favorite episodes for a very long
was a
time.
good
Just because the wolves are inherently scarier than zombies. Even if they're stupid and even if they're crazy or whatever, they have weapons and they want to hunt down and kill
Maybe
people.
they're smart. Maybe they're stupid.
Oh,
maybe
they-
they're crazy. Maybe they have one gun. We don't know. Wild
We
card.
do know that some of them got away because Morgan, while he is a Jedi Knight and could take out a group of 5 or 6 people, he then lets them leave.
He's also
In a
90.
zombie movie, it has almost never been the right choice to let someone live. Almost never.
So
Maybe
is
this
the
will be the first
answer,
time.
the worst of us don't deserve mercy, John?
Not in this world, no.
No.
Not them.
No.
No, they tried to let the people of Terminus, they gave them mercy, let them go.
No.
Even
Bad decision.
Carl with the gun was like considering mercy for a second.
Seriously.
And then
And
right
then it
away
bit
the
him right in the
wolf
ass.
proved that they don't deserve them.
Yeah. When the guy was like, oh, it hurts. Oh, let me take care of that for you. That's what I would have done. That's mercy at that point.
Carol got a couple good mercy kills in.
Yeah.
She was a cold-blooded killer there.
I
liked
love
it.
the return of Killer Carol.
Yeah.
With the Sith
hood.
Yeah.
hood and the
Yeah.
She's wearing a disguise.
she's in double disguise.
She travels single
She's
file
a
to hide
double
her
secret
numbers.
agent right now.
She's the best. I love her. I'm going to be sad when she goes.
Yeah.
So
It turns out at the end that she's also secretly a Romulan. She's so tricky.
wow, what a series. What a series arc that would be. But
Yeah.
where do we see this going next week?
Zombies.
Zombies?
Yeah, the horde is still out there. That's a real big problem.
Have we seen the last of the wolves for at least now? Like, I
Probably for a
imagine
bit.
they're coming back, like,
lost a lot of people.
mid-season finale, season finale.
But they have to have pretty big numbers to have collected the number of corpses that we saw. It wasn't just a group of a dozen people. It had to be more.
Did we see their best, or is this just a little scouting
Yeah.
party? After all, they didn't have guns. Maybe they're the wolves
Yeah.
that
I
can't
seem
be
to
trusted
think
to
none
have
of them have guns.
And they had to have found
the
guns at this
reject
point.
wolves. That's why they're so stupid.
Maybe.
Are the alphas still back in hiding, calling all the shots, sending out
Damn.
Yeah,
parties
this is
to
the
Culture.
South. There are
Those are the
guns around.
Omegas.
wolf people?
We are waiting for the
Probably,
alphas still,
Yeah,
maybe.
and in the meantime, regardless of zombies or wolves, defend your walls a little bit better. Morgan seriously went with the fence. That'll be fine. He didn't lock it or anything. He's just meh.
Jedi can do a lot of
Do you
things.
want to live?
All right, well, we'll look
Anyway.
forward to that next week for episode 3. Thanks for joining us. Let us know what you think below in the comments. Goodbye.